Hi, my name is Ethan Patulski. I am a freshman representative and a member of the Finance Committee. I am running for the position of Chief Judicial Officer.
Hi, I'm Max Goldenson. I'm a political science and economics major, and I am a member of the class of 2027. In USG, I am currently the secretary. I'm a member of J-Board, and I'm also a member of the Finance Committee.
I would say on one side that they don't need revision. I'd say that the policies are fine. It's just how we've operated internally has been flawed. However, I'd say I would agree that a lot of the language could be updated just in general, some of the formatting. How would I go about it? I believe it's technically within my purview to make suggestions and then bring them to the executive committee. So probably within the first few weeks of my position, I would go ahead and do so.
So this is actually something that we were talking about in exec the other day. We were wondering, we've had such a problem with attendance this year, and I've experienced this firsthand because I'm always seeing who shows up in the spreadsheet, who leaves halfway during the meeting, and nobody could really figure out whether or not CJO actually had the power to make members step down. And so what we kind of concluded based on the bylaws and what's been done in the past is that really the only thing that CJO can do is ask members to step down. And I think that's ridiculous. I think that it doesn't make sense going through a whole review process just to have to bring something before GA and get 2/3 to ratify it. I think at that point, J-Board has done their due diligence. I think that as much as it pains us all to see a member leave, at that point, it should be left up to CJO or J-Board to just make them step down, really.
Our current CJO has been pretty passive with this position. I have had plenty of my own complaints with our current executive board, and I will probably have plenty of complaints with the next executive board as well. It is my intent to make CJO as much of a, I don't want to say enforcer, but to keep to our standards as much as possible. So if I hear from a General Assembly member that during committee there's an issue, or if there's something like that, or if there's any problem, it is my intention to address that matter as quickly as possible with that executive member, and if possible, move towards penalties or other things within my purview as possible.
So this is kind of exactly what we were talking about. I mean, we had such an attendance problem even in exec, and we were all just like, this is ridiculous, really. And so I think we made some changes to the bylaws regarding exec attendance, but I think when it comes down to exec members actually carrying out their roles, I think as CJO, I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, this is going to sound cliche, no man's above the law. I wouldn't hesitate to reach out to them, make sure they're aware of the attendance policy, and just really what they're supposed to be doing. And if that's not something they're comfortable with, then I think it should be under my power to take the next steps, or under J-Board's power to take the next steps. If they're not willing to step down, I feel like that shouldn't really be an option if they're not doing their job, if that makes sense.
I'm a freshman, so within USG, not much, but I have been a treasurer for a variety of organizations on campus so far, including COC, RHA. I've helped plan a variety of events within those organizations, as well as within the general administrative body. I've worked on financial projects with Chad Rasmussen, Director of Finance, and I've also had plenty of conversations with VP Apgar. As far as judicial oversight, in high school, I was a member of my town's youth court. I don't know how familiar people are with that, but essentially it was giving penalties to rule violators and misdemeanors among high school age children in my town. And I also served as the senior patrol leader of my Boy Scout troop, so there was significant oversight as well there.
So currently in USG, I'm secretary. So as secretary, I'm a member of exec. I attend all the exec meetings. I work very closely with the current CJO, Tyler Vu. And I'm also actually a member of J-Board. And it hasn't been as active as I would like it to be. But I've also had some first-hand experience with the bylaws and how that applies to member attendance and member obligations. Also, outside of USG, last summer I shadowed my state representative, and I followed her to meetings. I drafted memos for her. I did a lot of bill research, so a lot of like legalese kind of wording, and just kind of everything I was writing had to be in compliance with Massachusetts state law. So I'm a good rule follower, I guess.
I don't want to go into the blanket statement of that we're both like prepared for the role and we'll both do a fine job. I think personally, I don't think, in terms of what we want for the role, either of us are better. I think I have significant more experience as far as this form of oversight and then holding people accountable than he does. But I think we both want the same things for this position, and we both want the same things for this organization. So I don't really got much more than that.
Well, I don't want to put down my competitor's work in ESG because I think every time he opens his mouth, I'm listening. He is very articulate. He consistently has the best contributions in finance, or some of the best contributions in our finance meetings. At the end of the day, though, I think I just have more experience with the position in question, more experience on exec, more experience in USG, more experience at this school. And I think that's what it comes down to. I don't think that this is really a role that you can just jump into. I think that you kind of have to know what it's all about, what its responsibilities are. And as much as I love the guy, I don't know. I don't think that he would be as well prepared